Welcome back to An Athlete's Journey. I am your host, Travis Reed, and today is a special day. Well, not necessarily special, but um, pretty much this year, 2024, has been a special year because it is officially 20 years since I won my championship in Groningen. um, So I wanted to kind of go over it. I wanted to do special shows just because there is no there's preseason football and no NBA basketball going on. So I just wanted to do this show because it's I've had a couple people ask me to talk about it. So that's what I'm doing. So this is for my Groningen fans and people out there in Holland that listen to the show. And I'm sorry for people that's listening to this on Spotify. You can't see. I am showing the actual DVD, but I will post it up on YouTube. I'm showing the actual DVD of the championship that we won in 2004. And I wanted to just go over a couple things about it. I'll go over that season, how it was probably the craziest season of my whole career. Um, and it was one of those seasons where that it was one of those seasons where I can't even tell you, like, it's just crazy situation. Like, we started out with, let's say, 10 guys, and then the first practice, three of them quit. So, I was just like, man, this is intense. So we were already down to five guys after one practice, or six guys. So we, like, that year, we can get into it, but pretty much, you know, that year was a crazy year. But I'll start off like this. The year before, when I first came overseas, I played in Holland. That was like everybody knows the story. If you don't, here it is. I played, obviously went to college, went to UCLA, graduated from Long Beach State, was Big West, all Big West first team, 2 years in a row. After that, put my name in the draft. Um, got drafted like I think number 59 or something like that. I forgot. It was either 59 or something like that. I forgot. Anyway, uh, put my name in the draft for the G League, but then decided not to go. Um, and this my boy had played overseas. He had told me that overseas is where the money is. So I went overseas. I got an agent. Agent said I'm gonna send you to Bogota, Colombia. So I went over there. My first job was in Bogota. Was over there for the summer. Crazy situation. Pretty much, it's where it's where you slept in a hotel, but like they had cages around the gym, around the court. I had armed guards with me the whole time whenever I went outside. There was no police. The government was the police, so they had to have armed guards with me at all times. So the place was crazy. The money was cool, but it was a crazy environment. Stayed there for the summer, the whole summer after I graduated college. Came back, signed the contract to go to Poland over there, and then came back for like a couple of days and got my stuff together. Went to Poland. After a couple of weeks, they decided to cut me because I wasn't tall enough. Basically, that was the only reason I was 6'8", not 6'10", and they just didn't like that. They wanted 6'10" guys, so they cut me. And that was kind of like my first year was my best year to learn about all the business of overseas. I was like, so they cut me because I wasn't tall enough. I was like, man, this is crazy. So anyway, and I realized out there, like, they took preseason very, very serious because like they can bring in this. That was the time where they can bring in and bring out Americans, as much as they wanted. So that's why they brought me and another American in. After a couple of weeks, they After a couple of weeks, they cut us. And I was actually on the plane, on the airplane, um, when um, they called an emergency call. I was on the airplane and said, "Oh yeah, come on through, Travis. Like get off the plane. Like you have an emergency call." I'm like, an emergency call? What do you mean? It was like, yeah, you have an emergency call. So I went to the front, and so on the plane, my agent was like, "Get off the plane." My agent, "Get off the plane. I got a job for you in France." So I got off the plane because that was going back to the States. So I go, I get the ticket. I go there. I'm in the airport. I get a ticket for France, but now I have to recheck my bag, my big bag, and they were like, "Well, it's too heavy. You got to pay." I'm like, "I don't have any money." I was out of money. So I had to leave my bag there. I told my agent, he's like, "Just leave the bag. They'll get it in France." So I left my bag there. I get to France. I tell the team, the French team, to call the airport in Poland to get the bag, and they said they threw it away already. They said they heard a ticking sound, and so all I had in France was the clothes on my back, and and that was it. And tennis shoes in my backpack, and that's all I had for those couple weeks. Now I went to France. I thought I played it good enough to make the team. They cut me too. Now I'm leaving big chunks out because I don't want to have this whole story be about that. But yeah, I got cut from France. Was about to go back home. Um, decided to decided to like ask my dad, like, "What do you think? Should I just come back home?" And he was like, "No, stay out there." So my agent comes. We drive to Belgium. I'm thinking I'm making this team. I don't care, you know. And after a couple weeks in Belgium, I got cut again. And I was like, man, I'm not. I'm about to. I'm. I guess I'm gonna go back home and be a teacher or something because I can't make a team. And so after that, I fired my agent. And then I got a new agent, and he basically said, like, "Look, there's a job in Holland for you. It's not that much money." And by then, I was like, "Forget it. I started over there in Europe in beginning of September. This was like already like almost the end of October. So 2 months, imagine 2 months, you might have got a little bit of money, just to survive and get some food, but that was it. So Holland, you get there, my agent, he sends me stuff, so I have at least a little bit of stuff, but I lost obviously a lot of stuff in Poland. So I get to Holland, I go to a team that's a great team, great coach, great player, older player, but like not supposed to. They have don't have a lot of money, so not supposed to win. So we kind of shocked the world, and we get to the semifinals and lose to the eventual champion. And that was the first year and only year me and my best friend Billy Knight played together. But that year I was statistical player of the year. Uh, made the all league team and all that. So I was like, okay, but I was back in May. So I get a call from that same agent. He's like, "I got a job for you back in Holland, way more money, different team." The coach is legendary, won 20 championships or whatever it was, like 14, 15 championships. And he wants you to play on his team. I said, "Okay, cool. What's the money? Done. Let's get it." So I played on his team. I decided, okay, I'm going to Groningen. And, I didn't really know much about Groningen. I played him the year before. The gym at that time was like half full. It wasn't like a lot of fans there. They were a decent team. It wasn't really great, but it really wasn't, they wasn't a great team, but they were a good team. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna just play here and let's get it. You know, we'll see what happens. So obviously the coach was like Phil Jackson, Tone Boat. Everybody who knows out in the Holland knows who he is. And so I decided, like I'm gonna just play hard. And we had to come back July 1st. We had to come back July 30th, which is super early. We were practicing by August 1st. And August 1st, like all the like that was just like the I call it the weave through because that in that month we must have brought in and cut about 20 guys. I'm not even joking. Like I'm not putting extras on it. I'm like literally about 20 guys. Sometimes it was two and three at a time. Sometimes it was two at a time. Sometimes it was one. So it was so insane that beginning month. That that beginning month that it was so crazy to me. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Crazy. Now, imagine you come in with an American and hey, what's up? My name's Travis, and his name was John. What's up? My name's John. Da, da, da. You become cool with him. Oh, John's gone. And then they bring in another guy. I'm Tim. Oh, Tim's gone. And then they bring in Charles and Chuck. Charles and Chuck are gone. And that's how that year was. And like so that whole first month it was that. Like it was basically just me as the American, Vamo Kleza, his son, Kirk Kleza plays for Kentucky now. He used to play for Arizona and West Virginia. Um, it was me, Vamo, and like the European guys. I was the only American that stuck from the beginning to the end. And then they brought in a guy named the name of Gary Buchanan. I watched him play. He played at Villanova. Good player, great shooter. They beat UCLA when they was in college. So he was in college. I was in college. I was 1 year ahead of him. It was his rookie year, and it was my second year. So once we got him, I knew, oh no, they ain't cutting him. He's really, really good. This is mid-September, mid to late September. Season was going to start in October, so we needed another American. So they brought in another American. They cut him. They cut him, and then we just rolled in the beginning of the season with no, and they brought in one more American, and he made it. I can't even think. Brent, yeah, Brent, and he rolled with him for a while, and we had about a solid 8-9 guys for a little bit. For the beginning of the season, I was like, okay, we're a good team. I think we'll be good. We lost. We won some, lost some, won some, lost some. I thought we were better than what our record was. We started out like 6-6 or something like that. We won some games, lost some games, but we were learning the system, learning each other. And, I remember this like it was yesterday. It was like right after Thanksgiving or something, right before Christmas. Uh, 3 guys got let go or cut, you know. Coach cut Brent, Chew DePaula, which was like our seventh man. He left, he quit. And then we were down to essentially 6 guys and a junior. So a junior was a kid that didn't really play never. He just was on the team trying to practice and all that. So um it was a situation where I was like, man, we practiced and we had 6 guys practicing, because like 2, 3 guys got cut. Or one got cut, one left, So imagine practicing 2.5 hours with just 6 guys. And that we were doing. And that we didn't do that just for a little bit. We did it for a whole month. Like the whole month of December, we were practicing with 6 guys for 2 hours, every day or 5 days a week. And then we would play the game and, we would win or lose. Now, I was just like, okay, well, we're better than most of the teams in this league. There was a couple teams I didn't know if we were better than, but I knew we was both better than most of the teams, even with the 6 guys in our system. So once the system started rolling, and I thought like the system always should just go through me. um, the system didn't go through me necessarily, but it went through me for the most part because we only had 6 guys. So I played the most. I was like top 5 in minutes played, you know, because that was the best, most in shape I ever was in Europe. Those years, because you had to be in super duper shape to deal with that Coach Boat. Like you couldn't be out of shape. The practices would expose you. We were practicing 2.5 hours hard, you know, and it was no like let up. It was just like you practice hard, you play hard, and that was it. There was nothing else. So, you know, like I said, we actually started winning after the 6-6 start. We started winning, like started winning a lot. Started winning, you know, in the month of December, we beat mostly everybody for the most part, because I was establishing myself as I thought I was the best player in the league. Myself and a guy named Joe Spinks, but um, I was like, no, I'm better than Joe, so I'm the best player. So I'm gonna show everybody. This year is gonna be my MVP. Last year was statistical MVP. What statistical MVP is kind of like offensive player of the year. You know, so I averaged the year before I averaged like 20 something and 10 rebounds. So I got statistical player of the year. And this year, Bob was determined to get MVP. So um, my points went down a little bit than the year before, but I averaged the same amount of rebounds. And actually, that year, I finished second in the league in points and second in the league in rebounding, which was just me. I finished second in the league by a tenth of a point, a hundredth of a tenth of a point. And I lost kind of like how Shaq lost to David Robinson in like 90, whatever it was, like 95. Like I was leading, I had the most total points, right? And then going into the last game. So we had to play the best team with the best record in the league the last game of the season at home. They were Amsterdam team, but they had to play Joe Speak. So we ended up beating them, and we knocked them out of the 1 seed. We knocked them to the 2 seed. We knocked up to the 3 seed, and that's who we was going to play in the playoffs and the semifinals if we obviously got to semifinals. And the boss, my old team from the year before, um, they gave Marcel Hyvis the ball all the time. So he ended up with like 45 or something. And he ended up beating me by a tenth of a point. He averaged 19.9, I averaged 19.8. That's one of those, oh my God. Now the rebounding, I came in second, but my boy, my boy Maurice Ingram, by the way, you can listen to that. That's on my, one of my shows. He did one of my interviews. Still my boy. He like led the league in rebound about 2 rebounds. So, he was averaging like 18 to 12 or whatever it was. 18 to 13. So I was second, but I was, second by 3 rebounds. But the points, I was so mad about. I ain't gonna lie, because I was at the game. I was like, yeah, we won the game. We're third, they're second, whatever. I had like, my average of 19. And then how much Marcel I have. So he had 45. What? So they made him get the scoring time. So he ended up with the scoring time. Remember that too. But like I was saying, go back to the season. We're winning, and then we go home for Christmas break. Let's just say we're in sixth place at that time, and then we get another Travis, probably the best scorer I played with in Europe was Travis Young. Travis was about 5'9", stocky, looked like a running back, built like a running back, but so fast, so quick, could score on anybody, could shoot it, handle it. Just a great player, a great player. Ironically, his name was Travis Young. So Travis, big T, little T. And so we were kind of like, the Shaq and Kobe of the league that year. He came in, he was a great player from the year before. I think he led the league in scoring the year before, or was right there, top 3 or something. He was injured, so he came to our team. And after he came, we just really started winning. We just started demolishing everybody. We went all the way from 6th to 3rd place. We finished the season, I don't know, with, I think the league was like 40 games or something. I think we finished like, 35 and or 30, 34 and 6 or whatever it was. Something like that. The best team was not the boss, but the best team was defending champion Eiffel Towers. They were one, and then we knocked Amsterdam to two. We were three. My old team, the boss, was four. So, but that year, like I said, was special. We came in third place. I was killing. I averaged, like I said, second in league in points and second league in rebounders. Averaged double double. Teams was happy when they stopped me. I remember we played Amsterdam and we beat them, but it was like a close game. I only scored like 13 and 11 boards. I remember my coach was like, the coach was happy that he stopped Travis, but did he stop him? He still had, 13 points and rebounds and they had a double double. Did he stop him? And we won the game. How did he stop him? Because by that time I was getting 20, 28 and 12, 28 and 14, 27, 4. I was killing. I was killing. Because I was determined to be that league MVP that year. Now, it did help for that time that my ex at the time, she came to live with me, so I was getting her, good cooking, and like it was just cool. During that time, I was killing, but she didn't want to stay, so I ended up, going back to. She ended up going back to the States, and then I had to just refocus my energy for the season. Just keep grinding, to keep going, and keep grinding. And like I said, we got up to third place. I remember when the playoffs started, we played the sixth place team, and we almost lost the first game. We were down, I want to say, by like 15 points in the first game at home. See, in Europe, in not all Europe, but I think most of Europe, it's the best of three, the first round, best of five, second round, and the best of seven in the finals. So, if you mess around and lose that first home game, you in trouble. You are in serious trouble. Um, if you are in serious trouble if you lose. You know what I'm saying? If you're in serious trouble if you lose like the first game at home and then you got to go on the road and win. That happened to us. Then so that happened to us, a couple times. And the following we will, we don't have to get into all that, but like the following year, we lost at home as the top seed, and then we ended up losing the series. And then the year after that, we lost at home again, first game. The second game, we had to go on the road and win in overtime, and then the third game, we blew them out to get to the finals, but we lost in the finals that year. But let's go back to the year, like I said, the year we won the championship. So the first game we ended up winning by like 15. We was down the whole game, but we ended up winning by 15. And then like what happens in Americans' mind, I know that, is that doubt comes in. And so what happens is like you're thinking about going home. You got one loss or one win to win, and you're like, man, I can go home. I've been playing this whole year overseas. I'm ready to go. Some dudes think like that. Some dudes ain't. They want to keep hooping as long as they can hoop. Some dudes just like, man, I'm ready to go home. I've been here since I've been here since September. It's been a long. I can recruit, refresh, chill, whatever. So it's important to have a good mindset of a team that think they're going to win, know they're going to win, and that's what us. Like we won our first game, and we took that into the second game, and we demolished them in their house to get to the semifinals. And obviously, it was a great thing to get to the semifinals versus Amsterdam, which is our coach's old team, where he won 4 or 5 championships with. They were the best team in Holland. They were one of the best teams in Europe when he was coaching them. Um, so it was a rematch of his old team, the team that he built, versus his new team, the team that he built. Now it's, and for me, it was like the battle of the two best players, which one was Joe Spinks and the other was me. So I was like, okay, well, I know this is going to be a knockdown, drag out series, and I'm just excited for it. So I remember the first game we played them at their house because they were the higher seed. I twisted my ankle. I played terrible because my ankles was. I tried to tie it up, and my ankles was just killing me. I couldn't practice, like for the next couple of days. Luckily, we had a couple of days in between the game, So all I did was just ice my leg. I didn't do anything. I just iced literally for 3 days straight. And by the time the game came, I had so much tape on it. I felt like the doctor was like massaging the blood out of my ankle. He massaged, then tape, massaged and tape, massaged and tape. So a lot of blood was maybe in my foot or maybe, in my calf muscle because he massaged my foot all the way until I couldn't, you know, um, until like I was like, all right, man, just tape it. So I just toughed it out. The second game was at our house. It was like game away, game home. I toughed it out. We ended up winning. The crowd was insane. It was like 5,000 people there. It was insane. You know, crowd pumped me up all the time. And I also remember, we went back game three, and they ended up beating us. They said it was up. There was one win away. It was 2-1 them. I played bad. Got hit in the face. Like you ever get hit in the face so hard that you think that you thought you broke everything, your whole eye socket, nose, everything. I got hit with an elbow, boom, like as hard as I remember of ever getting hot in the face ever in my life. I must have went to the ground and just like, ugh. So anyway, we lose game three. We come back. I'm like, we ain't losing at home they ain't gonna beat us at home to go to the finals. We win game four. You know, I kill, I do whatever. Because the games against Amsterdam was just a very old school physical match. I mean, look, the first game was 56-52. That was the score of the game. The lead score of the game was 12 points. And the lead score for us was 10. That was me. So it was a knockout drag out game. And then we won 62-56 the next game. They won 58-50. Then you know what I'm saying? It was low scoring. It's not like NBA was high flying. It was low scoring, defensive minded teams, rebounding, hard work. Like the team that was going to be the most physical and the most hard working was going to win. And we had beat them 3 out of 4 in the regular season. So we were the perfect matchup for them. They is weird about matchups. We couldn't beat the number 1 seed. We beat them once. The 4 seed, which is my old team, the boss was perfectly matched for them. They beat them 3-1. It wasn't even close. But they were matched for them. But they couldn't beat Amsterdam. We could. We could match their physical because they couldn't match their physicality. We could. We could match their physicality. They couldn't. So anyway, we win game 4. The supporters pull us through. They're singing, and so like we go to Amsterdam, and this one's on. Like I said, this whole season's on DVD. DVD, and it's on YouTube if you ever want to know. Maybe I post it, like on my Instagram or something. And then you can follow me at Travis W. Reed on Instagram. I'll go over that later. I just remember going into that game. I had talked to my dad, and I told my dad was like, "Look, if you win this game, son, I fly out to see you in the finals." Now it turned out to be a lie, but it was a perfect lie because it gave me the motivation to want to win. Because when I became professional, my game changed. So I always wanted him to see me play as a professional because my game changed. It wasn't like college. It was more like high school. So, he said, I'll come out there. So I remember that game couldn't have started even no worse. They made every single shot they shot. We missed every single shot we shot. Well, before you know it, we were down. We were down like 15 in the first quarter. We ended up being down by like 20 in the third. I was like, damn, we about to get blown out. But I thought, like, you know what? If we're gonna get blown out, I'm gonna go out shooting. So I told Gary, I told Obama, I told everybody, just throw me the ball every play. Like I don't care what we doing, just throw me the ball. So if I'm gonna go out, I'm going out shooting. So the funny thing about that game was like we were down, I want to say 47 to like 20, I don't know, 47 to like like 29 to 30, because we couldn't hit a shot. And I was like, you know what? Just throw me the ball every play. So every play, I shot it. Every play was like either a layup, a foul, or a score, because I was like, I'm shooting it. I'm not passing out the double team. They were double teaming me. I was shooting over double team. I was like, all right, you gonna double team me, dribble out, spin off the other side. Whatever it was, they were just like they were, because they thought that they could just stop me straight up with a little bit of double teaming. But now I was like, if you play me like that, I'm gonna score 20. And so, like I said, the second half, I scored almost all I scored a lot of points. I led the team score and led the team in rebounding. Had about 20 and 10. And I remember, we just kept scoring. Like, we kept scoring. We kept scoring. I told their point guard, Sergio, Teddy Gibson, who was probably one of the most athletic guards I've ever seen. I told him, look, if we get on the road, you better stop us. You yourself, you better score. If we get on the road, you better be careful. So I said, we cut it to, it was like when we cut it to 15. All right, we 15. You better be careful. Don't let us get it to 10. And we got it to 10. All right, don't let us get it to 6, like that. So by the time we looked up, it was 46, 47 them. And we cut it all the way down. And so the crowd was just like boom, boom, boom. You imagine the chants. Boom, boom, boom. Donor. Boom, boom, boom. Donor. Donor. Like Francisco Ellison was there because I played against him in college. When I was at UCLA, he was at Cal. This is right before he went to the pros. He's Dutch. So he came back home after the season, was like going to watch the playoffs. And I was like, man, this is crazy, man. I can't believe it. So anyway, so like we come up, we score, they score, we score, they score kind of thing. So it's they score, like we're up 3. No, we're up 2. Was it 3 or 2? Um, we was tied actually. I'm sorry. In a minute. So it's tied because they hit a free throw. It's like I want to say it was 50, 52, 52, something like that. And then I remember they missed a shot. We got the ball. I'm in the post. I'm battling. Dudes pushing. It's a foul, but they're not gonna call it because it's a minute left in the playoffs. Maybe it was less than like 30 seconds. Throw me the ball, Daniel. So Daniel, like dude is off of him. So Daniel shoots a Steph Curry 3. Dude even put his hand up. That's how far he was. It was a Steph Curry 3. I'm not even joking. Shoots it, splash. Crowd goes crazy. Crazy. We're up 3. They come down. Teddy Gibson, he scores. We're up 1. We come down. Gary misses the shot. Vamo gets the rebound, gets fouled, gets the free throw. We're up 2, 58-56. Now they go down, they call timeout. They get the ball. Like I said, it's literally Gary versus Teddy on the front. Teddy, the best point guard in the league at that time. He the best point guard in the league in Holland. And he goes to the basket. I'm like, anybody can score but him. So he goes. Our defense helps. He kicks it to a guy. He shoots it. He misses it. I'm boxing out. My man, my teammate falls. So I'm trying to get the rebound, tip it, and I tip it out to Joe Spinks. Right? I tip it out to Joe. He tips it out. He shoots a 3. I'm like, I put my hand up. And I'm looking at the ball, man. That ball going in slow motion, man. I'm like, man, that ball is in. It looks straight. And then it curved at the very end, at the side of the backboard. I was like, oh. And so after that, we just run. I'm running. I don't even know where I'm running to. I run, and like the fans bum rush the court. Some fan rips my jersey off, and I'm just like, oh, fans is coming up, hugging me, hugging me, hugging me. It's just crazy. And then they're like so happy that they carried me off the court. Um, and like I said, like that was so crazy. I have a picture of that. I know, like I said, I apologize to the people just listening. But for the YouTube people, when you see this on YouTube, like this is the book of us winning the championship. I know I look so much younger. I look so much younger then. But I remember, like they carried me off the court, and it was just one of those craziest things like you ever experienced. Um, I was like, man, it's no way. This is like I said, this is game 5 in their house, tied up 2-2, and we win the game. And like I said, for my YouTube audience, here we is. Here we go. That is the picture of me getting carried off. And that was when we went to the finals. That was just going to the finals. They were so happy. They was kissing the court. They were screaming. Like they couldn't help it. Like, hey, hey, hey. Like I'm just happy. Like I said, I was happy because my dad said he was gonna come, and then he was like, I can't do it, son, but just win anyway. You know. But we were in the finals. My first year, my second year, and we were in the finals. And I was just like, man, this is crazy, man. Like, I can't believe we're in the finals. And then my old team was in the finals because they upset the number 1 seed. They're at the game, watching the game. And so we like talking, like, we gonna see my boy Sam Jones, Snoop Jones. Um, I'm telling like, boy, we gonna see you, dog. We gonna see you. I'm excited because I get to play against, team we used to play for in the championship. So I'm gonna just show them like you should have signed me back. So we're in the finals. I'm exhausted. It's May, into May. Hey, like May 20th. The finals just start. And we're like, yeah, all right. We're at this point, like I said, Travis got hurt. He got hurt before the playoffs started. Aggie Mikula Eunice, he gets hurt in the semifinals. So he's out. So we're down to 6 guys, essentially. 6, 7 guys. Really 7, because it was obviously Valmo at the point. I don't even remember 2. Daniel. No. Gary, Daniel, myself, and Eric, and then Rohier, and yeah, high hand teams. So it was basically 7, 6, 7 guys. That's all he played. He did. Yeah, he played high hand like sparingly, and he played right. Rohier, not here and there. He played them, but he like it was only 7 guys. Like I said, literally that played, and it's just one of those. You play against your old team. A lot of the players I knew, they had new Americans, but like the coach and the coach that gave me my first chance, I always loved him for. He gave me my chance, and everybody else, like I said, it was one of those situations where I'm just excited to play in the finals. I'm super excited, super duper. Like I'm about to win a chip. So we play because we're the higher seed. We get the first game at home. The fans are going crazy. We win the first game. Boom. And like I said, it's best of 7. But like, unlike other places where you go 2-2, 1-1-1, it's just 1-1-1-1-1-1-1. So Holland is about a 4-hour bus ride, a 3 or 4-hour bus ride from our city. So if you lose, you ain't getting back to like 2 in the morning, and you lost. So anyway, we take the bus ride there. I mean, we win the first game. Like, yeah, we're feeling good. And that coach knows me, so he know how to play me. So he was just double teaming me a lot. So the other American, Gary, had to ball out, and that's what he did. He balled out that whole series. He led the series in scoring, average like 20 something a game, because he had to, because he wasn't gonna let me beat him. Um, he wasn't gonna let me beat him. There was no way they was gonna let me beat him. So he was like, Travis, anybody gonna win, but Travis ain't gonna beat me. So I'm gonna just every team he catches, I'm just double team. So that's what happened. And so I would score like, 14, 16, 18 points by 18. And then he wouldn't double team. Like he kept double team. Like, and like I said, it gave a lot of guys a lot of chances. Gary, Daniel, Vamo were here to shoot the three. And like we were built like Orlando in 2009. Like I was Dwight or Shaq or whatever. And then everybody else was spread out around me. Everybody else. So if you double team me, somebody gonna shoot a three. You know, and if you don't double team me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna get your big man in foul trouble. I'm gonna kill you. So pretty much what happened was um, I remember it was like, oh, okay. Well, like the first game we won, second game we lost. And I didn't play too well. I actually got undercut on a dunk attempt, and I fell on my back, and I thought I broke my back. Somebody grabbed me by the neck and kind of Kurt Rambis me in 1984. Anybody want to see that? That's exactly the same thing. I promise you, same play, everything. I went up for a dunk. Dude clotheslined me and almost broke my back. And yeah, I remember that. Just like the Kurt Rambis. I'm not even joking. Just like Kurt Rambis. And like I said, my coach was like, "Well, he got to play better. Like he's not if he's going to be the quote unquote American, the best American player." And my coach was always trying to go through the media to get you to play better. And I'm like, you don't have to do that with me. I'm already self motivated, so I'm already knowing when I play bad or know when I play good. So that probably became the not the downfall of relationship. I just didn't respond to things like that. So anyway, we lose game two. We come back home. Game three back at home. We win game three. You know, uh, my boy Chip, from the boss, he dunks in our basket. We're up two at the time. He dunks in our basket, and it's a technical. So he dunks it, technical. We're up four. We hit the free throws, six, and then somebody hits a three. We're up nine. Essentially finishing the game up. I remember that like it was yesterday because, that's actually on DVD as well because it was one of those you just don't know. You can't believe you did that. So, you know, um, we're up 2-1. Game four, Vamo gets hurt. He twists his ankle bad. So he can't play game five. So he sits out. So we're down to six players essentially, game five at home. And I'm like, we gotta win it. We can't lose. So Daniel Novak, shout out to Daniel. You know what I'm saying? He had the game of his life, game of his career with us anyway. Had like 25 points, hit like six threes, off the double team me. They will kick it out to him. Three, three, three. He was killing. So we ended up winning. We're up 3-2, going back to their house. And everybody was like, oh yeah, we're gonna win it in seven. No, we're not gonna win it in seven. We are winning it six. That's what I told the team. Before we go on this bus, we're gonna win this game. Today. We ain't taking no chances in no game seven. You don't know what's gonna happen. So um, we go there, game six. It's in their house. It's packed, TV, da 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 da. I was like, I realized something. I scored a bucket, and I realized they ain't double teaming me. They not double teaming me. This game, they was like, we're gonna let Travis score and let the other team not sag off the other guys. Oh, you ain't gonna double team me? Okay, coach. All right, I love it. So I just, I went completely to work in the first quarter. I must have had like 16 points. Like it was like, bucket or first or second quarter, bucket, 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 jumper, layup, dunk, like okay. But what also helped was one of their best defenders. He got in foul trouble, and he was one of those irritants. He talked to the refs. He was like a Dennis Rodman type, but like he's a Dutch dude, so he's yelling at him, blah, 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 and they just got sick of it. And so they start calling all the fouls on him. And so he didn't even have a good game. He had a good game, like 10 points, but he fouled out. He didn't play alone. So they didn't really have anybody who can guard me one-on-one anyway. So I was like, okay, I'm about to go to work. So I remember we was up first quarter, up up at halftime. They always made their run in the second half. We will fold, but I'm like, we ain't folding today. So I remember like we was winning. It was a back and forth game. They had caught up though. They did catch up because we were tired. We started missing shots. He started double teaming me in the second half, and guy wasn't making it, and so like it was a situation was back and forth. And like I said, they caught up to us, and even then, we were up. I remember at the end of the regulation, we were up one. Gary hits a fadeaway jumper to put us up three, with like 6 seconds left. So we're like, oh, you still about to win. We still about to win. And they come down off a pick and roll. I'm thinking my boy Snoop ain't no way he gonna pass it. So I just leave my man wide open. I don't care. I leave my man wide open. He passes it. The other man can shoot the three, makes it. And tied. Going in overtime. What? What? Oh my God. So overtime, we're both just exhausted. It's game 6. We're both exhausted. It's overtime. It was battle nutrition. We were missing shots. They were missing shots. We were missing shots. They were missing shots. I finally get like a good assist, a drive, and a kick to one of my teammates. He scores. They miss a shot. We come down, get the rebound. Um, we come down. I catch it in the post. Uh, you know, I kick it out because they double team me. Like I said, second half they double team me. They double team me the whole second half essentially. That's why I said in the second half, I had about 20 at the half, and if I ended up with like 34, 36, but I had a chunk of it in the first half. So because that day I was hitting my free throws. That day I was like 9 for 9 from the free throw line because they would foul me on purpose. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just swish. My old coach was like, I don't know how the hell you were 9 for 9 for the free throw. If you was missing, we would have won the championship. But anyway, I remember that, and I remember that game, and that situation was just crazy. Like I said, it was just a crazy situation. Uh, we hit a three off of my double team. I kick out to Rohir Johnson. Shout out to Rohir. Roger, he hits the biggest three of his life. Because Valmo had fouled out, so we were down basically to 5 guys. 5 guys in the junior, or 6 guys in the junior, because he wasn't playing role. Highhead played a great game because he came and hit like 2 threes and 3 free throws. But like the main 5, me, Gary, Daniel, Eric, and Valmo was in, but like Valmo fouled out. So we played a lot of minutes. He hits the biggest three. They come down. They missed their next shot. They foul me. I make this, 2 free throws. We up like 6, something like that, and then it was just over, And I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked because it was like my first championship since first like championship since I was like, I don't know, a kid. So, or in ninth grade or whatever. Ninth grade was like my last. I won state, championship and city championship. But it was like I didn't even know how to react to it. It was one of those that carried me, and I'm like, screaming and just like jumping and just like I'm crying because I'm just like so happy that we won the championship. We won the championship, in a whole country. It was probably my best year, uh, you know, maybe not individual wise, but my best year as far as everything happening for me because I won MVP of the league. I won MVP of the All-Star game. I came in second in the dunk contest to Teddy Gibson, who was super athletic. Um, man, it was just a crazy situation, man. Crazy situation. Like I couldn't believe we won. Like I said, I was like shocked. I was like, this is amazing. Amazing. And the fans was crazy, crying, screaming, crying, jumping up and down. So we win the championship. I give my boy a hug, my boy Sam, because we beat him. And then we take a shower, get back home. It's a 4 hour bus ride, so we get home like I don't know 2:30, almost 3 in the morning. And when we get back to where like where the bus lets us out, his fans is there screaming, banging on the bus. Don't know, I do no, don't know. Like the bus driver, like he was freaking out because he was like, dude, I'm trying to go home. It's 3 in the morning. Yeah, I can do this later. And so like it was just crazy. Like I said, they gave us hugs. And so we were there for like, I don't know, like a week of just like, maybe not a week, but like 4 days of just like setting up stuff and, getting extra bonus money from the championship. And then, um, we had a, parade. The parade was like not the next day, but the day after the next day. So I was like, like they had the parade and, we got watches, we got all this stuff. It just like, man, it was just crazy, you know? It was just super crazy. Um, you know, like we had 30,000 people there and I never been on a parade like that. So that was just, it was one of those, like they introduced me as the MVP to MVP of the competition. And it just reminds me of just a great time. Because like I said, it was the best. Nobody thought we was going to win the championship. We finished in third in the league. We were a good team, but they didn't think we were a great team. But we had to, beat the basically the best team all year to get to the finals, and then we won against my old team. So it was one of those that I was just so happy that we won. And then what happened was I go home for the summer and I play in the summer league because they have a summer pro league in Long Beach at that time. Now, so everything's in Vegas. But at that time they have a summer pro league, and then I play with my boy Baron Davis, and we win that championship. And I remember my boy at the time, Billy Knight, was like, "Bro, you didn't win a couple championships this year." I'm like, "I know, right? I don't want a couple championships." So it was one of those situations where that year was just a great year for me. Um, Now the next couple years was hard. You know, we lost in the first round as the number one seed the next year, and then lost in the finals in Game 7 the following year after that. Before I left Holland, but that year will always remain special to me. Always remain special. I love each and every one of the guys. Um, if anybody knows where Gary Buchanan at, I wish he can send me his information. I'd love to, catch up with him. Like I said, still talk to Rohier every once in a while. Talk to Daniel every once in a while. I even talked to Coach Boat about 6 months ago. Because they just they were doing like a special for the team, and so I wanted to make sure I did that during this kind of this off season, before the season gets revved up, and just talk about this team and how special it was and how great it was in the story. And if it's long in the tooth, I apologize. But it was just a great team that year. Great story. We won the championship. We'll never forget it. And yeah, had a blessed year. So I want to thank y'all for listening to my story. You can follow me at Travis W. Reed on Instagram. That's REED, Travis W. And then on Facebook it's Travis W. Reed as well. And also, if you want to, subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll be posting that in the description. So just copy it, post it, so, subscribe. And like I said, you'll see all the shows, watch all the shows instead of just listening to them. So I post all my videos on YouTube as well. So, like I said, subscribe to me on YouTube. Also follow me at Travis W. Reed on Instagram. And we back. I know I took a little bit of a break. Chris, had to take a summer break. But now I'll be back. We'll be back getting more shows. Next time we'll talk a little bit about the Olympics, talk a little bit about a little bit about the Olympics, a little bit about this upcoming season, what I think about some teams uh in NBA. And so we'll tell you, we'll talk about a little bit about football. So this year on an athlete's journey, we're going to interview, but we're also going to do, a little bit of, not just interviews. We're going to do dialysis, not dialysis. We're going to do, we're going to talk about the game, myself, and just kind of mention some things about what I see in the NBA, college, all that. So, like I said, as a person who done it all, seen it all, I'm excited for it. So, all right. We'll talk to y'all later. Like I said, talk to y'all later. Peace.